Hello, everybody. This is Swati live from Los Angeles. A little bit after 7 o'clock on September 4th morning. Today, I would like to attend to a couple of questions that have come up yesterday in the morning as well as in the evening. One of the questions yesterday was, how is yoga and mindfulness meditations, how are they related? And is one is better than the other? First of all, as you can imagine, one is better than the other is really not a fair question. And they both have their own huge place in our cultural psyche as well as in the historical context. So, first of all, I have to say that I know mindfulness meditation really well, but I do not know yoga and whatever it takes as much. However, I'm going to talk from whatever readings I have done and whatever I know about yoga. So just keep that in mind. And if you find any better explanation, please feel free to email it to me. First of all, mindfulness meditation comes from Buddhist tradition, from Buddha's teaching, which happened around 600 BC. Yoga Sutra, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, which is the most common way we know yoga these days, that happened around 400 AD. So Yoga Sutras came about way after Buddhist ideas of mindfulness. Some of you may know the reason Buddha came up with the idea of mindfulness was because he went around looking for answer to his one question. The question was, how do we get rid of the suffering that seems inevitable in all lives? When he was looking for the answer to this question, he went around for several years. He went with ascetics, he went with different kinds of people. He studied under a lot of different masters of that time. And then finally he went to Bodh Gaya, what's known as Bodh Gaya in India. And he sat under a banyan tree. Under the banyan tree, he decided he'll meditate for as long as he needed. And when he was meditating, he suddenly got the enlightenment. He thought about the idea of mindfulness. What he really thought about was about 4 noble truths. The noble truths, the first one says that there is suffering in everybody's life and it's inevitable. Then it says that there is a reason for this suffering, and the reason is attachment. And one more time, it's not the same attachment that we understand in English language or in our existing culture. Attachment would mean desperate craving and intense aversion. And then the third truth says that it is possible to get rid of the suffering by getting rid of the attachment. And the fourth one says that there is an eightfold path, and if you follow the eightfold path, you will develop proper non-attachment. And mindfulness meditation is one of the eightfold paths, one of the truths in the eightfold path. Mindfulness meditations are supposed to help you to get rid of this non-attachment that leads to unwholesome and unpleasant events in our lives. It's not that you can get rid of the events, but what you can get rid of is your reaction to it. The way you deal with it can change. And that's what so far we have been talking about. How can you change your relationship with the events that are happening in your life? And we have done it in a lot of different ways. Ultimately, the goal is the sense of well-being. Equanimity. Equanimity is evenness of mind, that to avoid the whole ups and downs that our mind can go through when something happens, and to train your mind to keep under a certain range. And not just that, but also to know about the common humanity, that we are in it together. So there are a lot of different aspects of mindfulness that we have learned. This will pass to no suppress, no express, but simply observe, and how to add the positive feelings. So these are a lot of ways in which you can actually train your mind to reduce the stress, to reduce the intense negativity of feelings. Okay. Now, having said that, 2500 years have passed since Buddha came up with these ideas. The way we practice it today is secular. Even the way Buddha was teaching these ideas was secular. Later on, it became a religion, and it spread all over Southeast Asia and different countries. In different countries, it took shape and form of that culture, and it was influenced by a lot of existing religions in that particular country. You will see a lot of rituals and a lot of do's and don't do's as part of Buddhist religion because of this fact. But that was all introduced later. Yoga Sutras were written way later, like almost 800 or 900 years after Buddha taught his teachings on how to meditate. However, Yoga Sutras derived its influence from a lot of existing thought of those days, and Buddhism was one of them. Yoga Sutras have been influenced by Buddhism. So has Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the Indian Hindu scriptures. So all these different things derive their influence from these ideas that Buddha had proposed on non-attachment. I want to show you a book that some friends of mine just recently, last week, actually published. I don't know if it is available in bookstores yet. Today, when I was, or yesterday, when I was looking for this book, because this is a book, I went to the book event, and it's called Sacred Thread. The beautiful thing about this book is it's a very easy read, because it's basically a bunch of pictures collected, and Patanjali's Yoga Sutras aphorisms are translated under the pictures. The reason I thought about this book is because I went to the book event just last week. Christopher Chappell, who is a professor in Loyola Marymount University, is one of the authors. I want to read out some parts of it, and then you will be amazed to see how similar the ideas are from mindfulness, the basic idea of mindfulness. Okay, so Patanjali, the person who wrote Yoga Sutra, defines yoga as a stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. Through practice, the mind develops equanimity, and like the fish is no longer disturbed by turmoil and uncertainty. Free from reactivity, the yogi practices skill in action, and with penetrating discernment sees that there are actions that lead to suffering and actions that lead to freedom. So doesn't it sound so much like what in some sense we have been trying to do in mindfulness meditation? So in that sense, yoga derives a lot of its basic, what it is trying to do, or the type of mind training it is trying to achieve. It is very similar to what mindfulness meditation will give you, but obviously there are big differences. One of the things that has happened is the way yoga is practiced, especially in the West at this point. A lot of it is a way to exercise, a way to shape and tone the body. But as you can see, the original yoga is not just for shaping our body and to look fit and beautiful, but it is about training your mind to avoid the fluctuations that we daily go through. It's also mind training just as much as it is a body training. It goes to the mind through the body. However, the main focus is on your body, one way or the other. Mindfulness meditation, on the other hand, tries to achieve a lot more than what yoga would give you in the psychological sense. Mindfulness meditation does use body, as in we do body sensation meditation, but the emphasis is different, or what you do is different. Along with it, yoga will give you the body or the exercise part, which mindfulness meditation obviously is not meant to do. But psychologically speaking, mindfulness meditations are much richer, much more complete, and a sense of well being directly working with your mind, directly working with the philosophical aspects, is what you will get in mindfulness meditations. So, a lot of times people practice both yoga and mindfulness meditations for obvious reasons, and you can choose what you want to do. I am obviously more inclined to do mindfulness meditations because yoga to me is practicing more or less the exercise part. That's how it has become. So I hope I have answered the question. And there was another question. Let me get rid of the bottom at this point. Okay, so there was another question yesterday, and the other question was, we did the open awareness meditation. How is the open awareness meditation different than stream of thought, stream of consciousness? There's a style of writing, or there is a style of expressing, which is called stream of thought or stream of consciousness, where whatever is coming to your mind, you can write it out. And there are some authors you may have read who write from with that skill. How is mindfulness meditation different than that? Now, this is another one of these questions. Again, mindfulness meditation, or rather the open aware, not mindfulness meditation, the open awareness meditation. Yes, we are becoming aware of whatever is going on with us at the moment. And stream of consciousness also is becoming aware of whatever is going on. But there's one difference, one big difference. Stream of consciousness, or rather, when you are doing open awareness, you're doing it in an observing mode. You are not immersing yourself in the feelings and thoughts that come to you. You are not having judgments against it, that this is good, bad, and you are not creating any judgments. If you tell it to anybody else, it's not meant for any creation of judgments. Stream of thought or stream of consciousness writings, on the other hand, would not be done with that specific goal in mind. It's not a simply observing type of a feeling. So that's the difference between these two thoughts. The other thing that came up yesterday was the creativity and the gamma wave spike. Some people wanted a link to that. Now, I would tell you one article that yesterday someone mentioned, and it is a really good article. I don't have the link right now in front of me, but I'll tell you where you can find it. New Yorker magazine, July 2008, and it's called Eureka Hunt. The name of the article, if you just Google Eureka Hunt, New Yorker, 2008, July 2008, you will get this article, and it summarizes a lot of the and more of what I described yesterday as how there is a gamma wave spike when we get aha moment. This is not about meditation, this is about creativity and gamma wave spike. Okay, I think Lou had asked the question yesterday about yoga and mindfulness meditations. And so she's saying, thank you, you're welcome. So today, let's go ahead and do a meditation. Again, we are going to do open awareness meditation. Let me have a couple of sips of my tea at this point, since it's sitting here. And I'm going to have a mindful one sip. And I hope whatever you're doing first, let's start with a mindful activity, and then we'll get into an open awareness meditation. And mindfulness activity of this sort also to certain degree becomes open awareness. In a restricted form, we are paying attention to sensations. But the way we are doing it, we don't have like any one specific order or something like that. Whatever grabs our attention at that time, that's where we stay for a while. And you can add even more open awareness if you wish to the idea of having a cup of tea. When you are drinking a cup of tea, you can pay attention to the images that come to your mind, or if there is any association that comes to your mind while you are having this cup of tea. So you are aware the whole time. That is the idea. I have one more comment here. Let me check what it is. Sandy is saying that while I'm doing one type of meditation, other type of meditation comes up. Like if I'm doing loving kindness, compassion meditation, I tend to find gratitude meditation comes up. If you are doing loving kindness and gratitude comes up, I think that kind of makes sense. But otherwise, if let's say you're doing breath awareness meditation, then stick to breath awareness meditation. If let's say suddenly you start observing your body while you are doing breath awareness meditation, notice that I am observing my body sensations instead of the breath. That is what I had planned. So respectfully, you go back to your breath. So once you decide what you're going to do and something else comes up, respectfully notice that's what's happening and then go back to what you had planned. Of course, as I said, gratitude and loving kindness, compassion are so related in terms of what you are offering that if there is no, there may not be a conflict. But if you're doing open awareness, for example, if beforehand, if you decide, while I'm doing open awareness, if I find my breath, then I will stay with breath awareness. You know, it's fine. You plan it in advance and try to stick to it. It's that discipline that we are getting to as well. So when we do our once a week sessions, then I would like to get more into developing a proper practice. 6 weeks was long enough, and we did spend enough time on each idea, like 1 week or few days at a time. But at this point, what I would like to do is to select a topic and one more time, select that one topic, and for that week, we'll get into that, and then you guys should do those meditations for the rest of the week. So we'll follow similar format, but we'll again get into it more from the practice perspective. Okay, so because it is already almost 20 minutes after 7, what I'm going to suggest is let's start doing an open awareness meditation. And when the time comes, I will leave, but you continue meditating for as long as you want. And if there's any question or comment, obviously email me. If there is anything you find more about yoga and meditation, mindfulness meditation, I would love to get your comments or whatever it is that you know about, as well as stream of consciousness and mindfulness and open awareness meditation. All these subjects that we are talking about, if you find anything more, or if you think about something, or if there's any question, please feel free to email me. It's great to discuss these things. That's the best way to learn. So close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And now pay attention to your breath for some time. Breathing in and breathing out and noticing. And now open up your attention and become aware of awareness. Become aware of whatever your awareness is grabbing, whatever your attention, wherever it is going. Notice that. Become aware of that. Let's see if you are able to stay aware the whole time you're meditating. Come back to the awareness if you became lost in whatever thoughts were coming to you. Become aware again of whatever is in your awareness span. Your attention is open, and what's coming in the attention span? What are you noticing? Whatever you notice, pay attention to that, become aware of that, just observing without judgments, simply observing.